to the class, guys. This is your literature class in which I'm going to discuss chapter number 16, the unicorn. So let's start the chapter, guys. The unicorn. Okay, students, Fritz, Franz, and Hans lived with their mother in poverty. You know what is the meaning of poverty? Poverty means a situation where people are not able to fulfill their basic needs, means they are not able to earn their food, shelter, and home in a proper manner. One day, a hungry stranger came to their secluded cottage. After satiating his hunger, the stranger revealed a secret. What was it? Just read the story to find out the reason. Fritz, Franz, and Hans lived with their mother in the depth of a dense forest. Depth means deep. They lived in a poor hut composed of a few logs of wood. It is made up of some woods only. Dry black bread with potatoes and lentils with a little porridge now and then was their staple meal. Hans, the youngest, did not remember ever having lived anywhere else because Hans is the youngest one. Okay, so he is not remembering anything from there about their past. However, Fritz and Franz could just call to mind sunny situation that they were having at their pastime. Meadows where they played as a children, picking flowers and chasing butterflies. Fred used to compare their present state of miserable poverty with good old times. One day they were well off. They had enough to eat every day. They lived in a comfortable house with plenty of kind neighbors around them. But suddenly, what was the situation? For that, they have to shift at the depth of the forest and live a kind of this poverty. Just read it. Things, however, changed drastically. Their father lost his money in business and was forced to earn bread for his family. As a charcoal burner, all of them had to leave the comforts of their pleasant home and had to burn the midnight oil at their grimy trade to secure whatever the little food they could. However, when he died a year ago, thing worse means when their father died, their situation going to be worse to worse. Fritz and Franz were selfish, ill-conditioned lad, but Hans was a capital fellow. What is the meaning of capital? Means good. He always had a cheerful smile and did his best to keep his mother in a good spirit. One day, by a knock at the door at dinner in a such cloistered, what is the meaning of isolated neighborhood, frizzed glowed up. Come in, a gentleman entered the room wearing a green dress with a gun in his hand and a game bag slung by his side. He was a huntsman. Huntsman, you all know, na? Where their people are going for the hunting in forest. Good day, friends, he said cheerfully. Could you give some water and food? I am hungry and far from home. Means a gentleman asked to the Fritz for some food and water. Fritz and Franz threw a scowling glance at him and continued eating their hunks of bread. But Hans politely dragged a log of wood from a corner and invited the visitor to sit down. Then he provided him with a cup of spring water, or spring water, you can say warm water, and share of the coarse crust also. Thank you, said the stranger courteously. There is nothing better than this at the moment. Hans crust word devoured. What is the meaning of devoured? Eating hungrily means he was suffering from hunger from the very last by the stranger in no time, but some breadcrumbs with a few drops of water were still lying around. The stranger kneaded them together into a pea-sized pellet. What is the meaning of pellet? A small ball filled with substance, means something was filled in this ball. While leaving, the stranger said, "Well, I thank you heartily for your hospitality, but here is a secret. One of you should go and seek the sparkling golden water which turns everything it touches into gold." Means they were giving a kind of magic. Whatever you are going to touch, it is going to be turned into a gold. Fritz and Franz ears picked up. They demanded the local of the mysterious land. The stranger turned towards them courteously and replied, "The sparkling golden water is to be found in the forest of dead trees. You can find this sparkling golden water in the dead trees in this forest. It is on the further side of the house, Blue Mountains. It is a 3 week journey on foot. If you are going from that time, it will take 3 weeks by foot. And then you will find a blue mountain, and around this the tree is having a golden sprinkled water. While on his way outside, he showed Hans the bread pellet and said, "I know you sacrificed your dinner for me. I have no money, but something more valuable for you. Keep this pellet carefully. I know you will come seeking for the sparkling golden water. Bring it along. Now go back and don't follow me hereafter." Saying this, the stranger waved his hand to Hans and plunged into the thicket. Hans returned to the hut and found his brother disputing over the sparkling golden water. Fritz shouted, "I am the eldest, so I will go first to get the sparkling water. I will buy land and become the count. I will hunt every day and give lots of food, wine. I will show you my fine clothes, horse, dogs, and servants. I don't care whether you are the eldest or not," growled Franz stubbornly. "I shall go to find the sparkling golden water. I will be by the Burgmaster ovens and live in this house in the town yonder. We are means if we find the water, I will be lived in the town, not in this forest. I will wear his fur robes and gold chain. I will walk to the head of all the grand processions." After a great deal of squabbling, it was deciding Fritz would you go first and find the sparkling golden water because he was the eldest. Hans hinted that once the sparkling golden water was found, they should first provide a comfortable home for their mother. However, at his suggestion, Fritz snapped at Hans said that whenever we get the sparkling water, then everything will turn into the gold. Firstly we have to provide a comfort life to our mother. Then after we have to think about ourselves. Fritz sets out at once. He had to beg for food and shelter at the cottage doors on his way because he had no money. Soon he approached a vast forest of enormous trees which lifted leafless, sepals branches to the sky, and every breath of wind rattled them together. Like the bones of a skeleton, suddenly a terrible sound of kneeing and screaming came from the forest of dead trees. Fritz wanted to run away, but his legs refused to move. He stood stunned as he saw a huge unicorn with a golden horn on its forehead rush out of the woods. "What seek you here?" thundered the unicorn. Fritz stammered. What is the meaning of stammered? Means flipping. Fritz stammered that he sought the sparkling golden water. "Why do you want the sparkling golden water? Which is my charge? This is my charge. If I give you a sparkling water, then what you will give to me?" The frightened Fritz fell on his knees and pleaded with his unicorn not to hurt him. The unicorn stammered furiously on the ground. He cried, What is it that you want with the sparkling golden water?" "I want money to buy land and become a count." Fritz grabbed the unicorn, lowered his head, and tossed Fritz high in the air. Then Fritz asked if this kind of suggestion, then unicorns take Fritz in her horn and throw it out of the forest, or we can say throw it after high in the air. Fritz came down like a stick. He crashed through the branches of a dead hollow tree where the tumbling down. He found himself a prisoner. Okay, students, for today that is enough. Rest of the story I will explain you tomorrow. Okay, till then, bye bye. Take care of yourself.